somebody here is singing a harmony to the note, and it's a unison note. Now stop messing about and get it right. Again, please, everybody, but it's middle two voices lead. 3, 4.
I think I was just initially hooked by the sound that it's possible to make with a group of anything up to 100, 120 male voices. The easiest comparison is the range and the sound and the able to get delicate singing and loud singing, and it's like an organ. It has all the attributes. Pull out another stop and the volume goes up.
It takes us months to learn a song. You know, people don't realise. They come to listen to you, like, and you sing about 12, 15 songs. They don't realise the hard work that goes into it to learn these songs.
It's too loud, it's too loud. It needs to be much, much quieter. 1, 2, 3. No, 2 notes. Damn it, who's not getting that note? 2, 3. Mezzo forte, the next chord. Up.
Well, I never thought I had a voice good enough to sing in a choir. But apparently you don't have to have a good solo voice as long as you can blend in.
It is a bit like Jaws, isn't it? Ya ba 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 bum. Okay, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4.
The first time I really got hooked was when I went to the Albert Hall, when the choir went as part of the Mass Voices in 1980. And my wife and myself, we've been invited to go with the choir.
Okay.
I was just made up with this sound coming up at me and the singing, and I was just hooked from there. And I said, my wife said, "You like this?" I said, "I love it." So as soon as I come back, I came, joined the Flint Choir, and it's gone on from there. It's tradition. Don't ask me why it's a Welsh tradition, but even in the army I was given this before. I wasn't in the choir then, but I could hear people talking about the Welshmen. They're always bloody singing here and bloody singing there, and this and that. But
solidly. Up. Now, that note you come on to, you should be doing exactly the same thing you've done before. Listen to the chord broken down.
We used to have a sing-song in the pit bottom every Christmas time. And believe me, it was something to listen to, you know, seeing carols in the pit bomb.
And you get the afternoon shift coming down, the morning shift to be waiting to go up. And you only get one man to start, and then you'd be there for 20 minutes, 30 minutes just singing on the ground, you know. And it's a wonderful sound on the ground when you get a lot of lads from Welsh choirs all joining together.
You know, the hairs in the back of your neck stood up, like, you know. And everybody who worked on the surface could hear it. They used to tell us it was a tremendous sound.
And you used to be singing for half an hour. And you'd be late getting to bed, you know. Manager would be shouting on the phone, get them to work, get them to work.
After that enlightening experience, take a break.
Thank you.
Striding for that perfect pitch at all times, and you know, and you've got 4 sections in which to get it all right in one go. It's got to be teamwork. You can't do it on one section, you can't do it on its own. You know, the tenors have got to be absolutely right, the second tenors have got to be absolutely right, the first bass are normally right, I'll say that for Rodney's benefit. Normally right, they're
Always right.
always right. And then the second bass.
It's like any other sport or any other activity. It gets the adrenaline going.
It's like a drug, you know. It's like a drug. 4 hours a week, like a drug. If you've ever been in a concert...
Keeps you interested.
I think we're only in one. We sang a piece of music called The Lost Chord.
Oh, yeah.
And we're in a place called Widnes. It's
Yeah.
outside. And we could never get this piece of music right as such, and everybody moaned about it, but it was in a lovely piece of music by Doris Arnold, isn't it? And it was thunder and lightning. Oh, what a night. Terrible. But that piece of music made the hair stand up on the back of your neck that night. And we got it right. The conductor then took it out of the repertoire and said, you'll never ever sing it again like that, so thank you very much, that'll do me. And we've never sang it since. Only sang it once. And if you get a piece of music right, you can actually make the hair stand up on the back of your neck. You know, you really get involved with it, you know. Really get involved.
Yeah, and you know you're there then.
And that's the problem. He gets carried away, you know, and he wants to give it. He wants to give it the whole all the while, don't he?
What people don't see, you know, in the audience or anywhere else, is what happens underneath when certain people try to get the high notes, you see, where one hand goes to assist.
what's pit like, you know, gas and roofs falling in, you know. I used to dream about it, but when I got there, it was, you know, quite different. Everything was, you know, quite normal. You don't think of danger.
Well, you rely on one another. You rely on one another for life, as such. If somebody does something wrong, somebody can be killed, or broken legs, broken thighs. It's not just a minor accident in the pit, it's just a serious accident if you get one.
My friends were buried by the side of me, so you just move back until it stops falling, and then you go in and dig them out. Well, it was fortunate for me that I was digging them out and not them digging me out, but that's the system you had in the mine, so it made you very close.
In the pit you work as units, facemen, haulage men, all different units. And that's exactly the same. You've got 4 sections in a choir. And if you don't all do it right, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. So you get the satisfaction of doing it right in your own section and hoping that the other section get it right with you.
Viva la company! Viva la, viva la, viva la more, viva la, viva la, viva la more, viva la more, viva la more, viva la company. Come on, you fellas, and join in with me. Viva la company! And raise up your voice and because harmony. Viva la company! Viva la, viva la, viva la more, viva la, viva la, viva la more, viva la more, viva la more, viva la company.
At Summers is closed. 1, 2, 3, 4 big coal salts works closed, which employs thousands of people. The steel industry employed 13,000. I think there's only about 2,000 people in now. And it's just been devastated over the years.
A shame, really, why Coalsall pulled out, but they pulled out. It just said 1 minute they were here, next minute they were gone.
You're walking out the gates knowing you were going out of a job, which is, it's not a nice feeling. There again, knowing you weren't going to see some of your mates again, because you didn't live that near to them. More sadness and how people can say they can never go out of a factory that's closing with joy, that's a load of rubbish. I don't believe that for a minute. I certainly didn't feel that. Certainly didn't. Coalsall, it wasn't a nice place health-wise to work. There was a lot of fumes. It was a chemical plant. But the fun we had there and the comradeship amongst the workers compensated for that. And I sorely miss that. Really miss it.
But the bulk, I reckon, of the choirs, they did come from the pits and the steelworks and factories, you know. But they're all closed now, and there's only the door. And I don't know, there's some light industries around here making toilet rolls and meat pies.
We have to change our attitude, change our lifestyle because of the new small industries. But unfortunately, small industries doesn't bring a community together. They come to work and they go. Large industry, people know each other, people work together, families get together in the evenings. This is what brings the community back, not small industries.
days, money talks. They're not interested in keeping a community together. All they're interested in is making a buck, and they don't worry who starves. Things like that are gone. The community attitude's gone. That's why I suppose I don't know if we're trying to hang on to the old life by joining the choir and sticking with the choir. I'm sure that isn't the attitude, but sometimes you wonder if it is, you know, just to hang on to old times.
Singing in the choir, I mean, it certainly is a way to forget all the sort of, you know, the sort of mundane, sort of boring bits of everyday life. It's almost a sort of microcosm of the way things used to be. It's this sort of sense of identity, the sense of friendship, and the sense of culture is all sort of encompassed in that choir, and that's why they enjoy it so much.
I've been married to my chorister for 47 years, and it's all part of our life. It's part of our living, it's part of our recreation, part of our culture.
There's something very rich and Welsh about a male voice choir.
When we first started with the choir, we decided that everywhere the choir went, the wives went. Now that created that social atmosphere. That created that social lifestyle for the choir, which developed over the years. And of course, after practices, after concerts, we all used to meet up.
Not many communities throughout Wales that don't have male voice choirs, and they're a big draw on that community. They involve people, they entertain people.
Singing is a joyful thing, like, and you've got to have a laugh in life. Life's far too serious now. Like. With the governments we've had the last 14 years, life's deadly serious. And if you didn't laugh about it, you'd crack up.
There was a shipwrecked, big liner. Of course, all the people had to jump into the sea. A huge whale came and swallowed most of the people. Down they went into the whale's belly, and all of a sudden they were all sitting down in the whale, and there was some fellow coming down, singing his head off, come down, and it was Tuffy. And then the Englishman said, "Hey, Tuffy," he said, "what are you singing? There's no time to sing," he said. "We are in this terrible predicament." "Well, don't you know," he said, "we all sing in Wales."
So that we may endure to the last, may endure to the
Well, I think for years what you've had is just, you know, the father was in the choir, the grandfather was in the choir, and the son was in the choir. And that tended to come about because lots of the men worked in the same place. But because that's gone, I think one of the problems they've got is that the younger people aren't coming through into things like the choirs now.
To build up a choir is like building a house. You have a solid foundation and you can build on that. And this is what we've done. So we've got a solid foundation in a hard-working committee.
No, hang on, but obviously...
And this committee is elected annually at the annual general meeting. All the choir normally attend the annual general meeting, and they all have a vote, and they all vote a particular person onto the committee. And it's done democratically.
So we're suggesting to you, once we've had the final...
The first time I went into the chapel, I thought, what a load of fuddy old duddies here, you know, because they were all old men, you know, and I thought, oh, I shouldn't be here. You know, there's no way you can sing with these people, you know, the place would be dead. But by God, what a set of fellas. I've never known a set of fellas like them. They'll drink, they'll sing, they smoke, and I thought, you know, old people behave themselves, you know.
We are one happy group of people, but we need to keep it going. And the need to keep it going is by getting new members to come in and join us now. So we've got to go and try and recruit new members, bring them in. They don't have to be Welsh speakers, because we'll teach them.
Yes. See you there.
We've got chapels which have been sold off. We've got chapels which have been turned to homes, houses. We've got chapels which have been turned to offices. And they're the ideal place to sing. The acoustics are very, very good in the chapel. It saddens me. And here in Flint, all we want is a home of our own. If we could get a nice big chapel where we could, or a big hall, we'd have a home of our own, we could unite this community once again.
We in the choir are trying to resurrect a culture. We're trying to keep going a culture that's been handed to us by our forefathers over the years. And we try and keep the music going, the music of Wales going.
That's where you learn your Welsh. We never learnt Welsh in school. It was all English. But our parents spoke Welsh, and we went to the Welsh chapel. And that's where we learned to speak Welsh.
I prefer singing in Welsh because the language is musical, you see, and the words and the music help each other.
Yeah, it's interesting to sort of, you know, to look at the way that when there's so much been lost from the area, and yet you compare the way that the choir has sort of grown and become so strong and become so popular, and I believe has sort of won first and second prizes at not just national Eisteddfods, but actually at the international ones. It's certainly interesting to see, or to, you know, to wonder why that's become so strong. Probably a reaction against so many things going. They feel that, you know, whatever else has been taken away from us, they're not going to take this away.
We do one concert a year for ourselves. We do a concert a month for charity, sometimes 2 concerts a month for charity. But we do one big concert a year for ourselves, which is to bring culture back into this area. And we don't mind if we lose money on it.
Come wind blow there if I put a jump out.
But it's a good night. Then you have a pint after, you have a sing-song after. And you meet people who stay behind from the audience which you've never ever seen in your life before, and they all want to know what you're doing and what's going on.
The choir tries to present a piece of music, and in presenting that piece of music, it tries to draw out the whole in that piece of music. You know, the essence of a piece.
Never had a music lesson in my life. Just something that I really, really wanted to do. And I think with a lot of things, if you want to do them enough, you'll do them.
It's a thing you can't explain, but when it's there, you know it's there, and it'll come out.
that feeling, when you feel that you're doing something that you really, really like, you put your best into it.
Well, I love to be on stage there and the sound is really coming through and you can see the people's faces enjoying it, and I think, well, you know, there it is. That's the sound, and that's the sound they've come to hear, you know. It gives me tremendous feeling of, well, I really look forward to the enjoyment of really singing.
It's a life's blood. Well, as near as that, it means everything. Next to my family, I think the choir it's my lifestyle. I love the choir.
It's something in your blood, I suppose, you know, that you're a member of a particular community. You're a member of a particular culture, and you're proud of that culture.
Now we're going to sing a piece of music which I love the lyrics of this piece. Life is certainly for living. This is no rehearsal, this is a real thing. And what we'd like to sing now is the rhythm of life.
First joined, I had to buy the blazer and the trousers, and they cost £100. And then I had to buy the suit, the evening suit, you know. That was, well, I had a second-hand one, £60. And it cost me a blinking fortune, I tell you.
Yes, £10 a time, £10 a year membership. It's well worth it. Worth more than that, really. It's worth £100.